That is Berkeley High School, where I went to high school back in '88 and '89. 28 years ago, I graduated from here. This is the trip. I was hoping to be able to go into the courtyard there and walk around, but it's gated off now. This was open when I went to high school here. And here is the park where every lunch we would go there and play frisbee golf and hang out and talk and stuff, because you could just leave the school during lunchtime and go cruising around Berkeley here. Downtown Berkeley is right here. So here's the main entrance. Berkeley High School. BHS is just BS without the high. Think about that. That tells you the crowd that I was hanging out with. So I am catching a flight tomorrow morning out of San Francisco, and all of the hostels were booked in San Francisco because it's a Friday night, middle of summer, and so I had to kind of scrounge around and ended up finding a hotel that's down on that street down there for $100 a night. But it was better than the various other options, which were kind of slim. And so I'm just kind of hanging out here for the evening and getting to revisit my youth. Nice to see it again. I can't remember the last time I was here. It might have been when I graduated. I've been into like Berkeley and you know, San Francisco, of course, lots of times, flying out of there. But I never actually walked down here and checked it out. But I only went there for 1 year, my senior year of high school, because I actually went to 3 different high schools. I lived up in the little town of Willits in Mendocino County, a couple of hours north of here, which is where I was raised. And so I went to my first 2 years of high school there at Willits High, and then moved down here with my dad and my brother when I was 15, and we lived in Oakland. I forget the name of the part of Oakland. Oh, Montclair. It's like the swanky part of Oakland. And I went to Skyline High School for 1 year, my junior year. And then my dad wanted me to change schools because I was kind of hanging with the wrong crowd and stuff. And so he managed to switch me over to Berkeley High School. It was a cool place to hang out for a year. A very, very diverse school of all kinds of, you know, races and different types of people, and the location was nice here in the middle of Berkeley. And so I actually graduated from there when I was 17 because I skipped 8th grade. That's a whole another story, but basically my friend Abram, some of you will know Abram, we were like best friends through you know, elementary school and into high school, and he had skipped 7th grade. I was at this other school. My whole schooling is like really complicated. I went to 3 different high schools, as I said. I went to 2 different high schools, or I mean 2 different schools in 7th grade. So I was at a private school, and Abram skipped that grade, 7th grade. And when I came back, I wanted to be with him again. And so I skipped 8th grade so that we caught up with each other. So I'm just going to kind of walk in the general direction of the university and Telegraph Avenue. I wanted to make this video sort of wandering around the campus of Berkeley High School there, but as you saw, I couldn't do that because it was all gated. And so I'm just going to give a little taste of Berkeley here in the course of wandering around here and trying to navigate the city traffic and everything while I'm kind of tired out from a long day of getting up here. And so I would have otherwise graduated in 1990, but because I skipped 8th grade, then I graduated in '89. Some of you will know that I went on my first trip abroad when I was 18 in 1990, and so that explains the year gap there between graduating, and then it wasn't until a year later that I was 18, and that's because I graduated when I was 17, and then went to a community college in California, north of here, up where my mom lives, up in U.S.A. That was the fall of 1989, and so I went to one semester of community college. By the way, I'm using my new camera here, my Canon G7X. Thanks a lot to everyone who donated and made this possible. This is my first time using this camera at all, other than a couple of quick little test runs. So far, it seems to be doing pretty good. Oh, and here's an incidental factoid. Is this the spot? I'm not sure if... All right, I think this is it. My dad built this building. Pretty sure this is the one. It's called the Gaia Building. And I know that it had a Mexican restaurant beneath it, and it was right in this area. Yeah, because it was a building with like office spaces up there. I think that's it. So I'm like just getting sort of lost on all kinds of tangents about my life here, but my dad, after we moved down to Oakland, then my dad ended up getting into a construction business in Oakland and Berkeley, and he built this building like in the 90s because he was still living here. And so I visited him a bunch of times in the course of while he was building it, because it took years. Anyways, I totally forgot about that until I came across that building there. Okay, let's see how this goes. All right, thanks. All right, so here's the University of California campus. I wasn't quite sure what this video was going to turn into. I was just going to make it like a tour of Berkeley High School kind of a thing, and then I realized that wasn't possible, so I figured I'd show a little bit more. And so let's see, where the heck was I? And so I went to one semester of community college at Mendocino Community College up in Mendocino County, and I was just like not into it. I'd been wanting to travel for a couple of years anyways, since I was in high school and was just like sick of school and wanted to get the hell out of there. And so I went to one semester of college and was just like, screw this, man. I'm ready for something different than sitting in a desk listening to teachers. I want to get out and see the real world. And so I told my folks or whatever and said, okay, I want to go to Europe for the summer. But I was still 17, because I was 17 when I graduated. My birthday's in April. And so they said, well, you need to wait until at least you're 18, and this made perfect sense. And so I decided to get a job. I got a job in Oakland at a ice cream shop, because my dad was still living in Montclair. Check this out. This is very reminiscent of the thing at the Vatican. For those who saw my most recent video, it's like a Death Star kind of a thing. The one at the Vatican spins. It's bigger and definitely more spectacular, as you would expect, but very similar. All right, walking up to UC Berkeley campus here. So I could get lost on like so many tangents of stories and stuff, because when I was a high school student, then me and my friends were like, sort of hippie-ish, but also kind of punkish. Like, I don't know, I was just kind of a nerd crossing various cultural spectrums or something. But we did some substance experimentation, I'll say, like cruising around the campus here, like on Friday nights and stuff, just like tripping out. Not recommending it or anything, but it was interesting. And so I told my folks I wanted to travel, and so I moved back south to Oakland, lived with my dad in Montclair, and got that ice cream shop job, and I had a little money saved up already anyways, and saved up a little bit more. I mean, by a little, that is like very literal, because I did not have much money for that trip. I went to Europe for almost 4 months on $1,350. If you do the math on that, it works out to less than $10 a day that I traveled to Europe. This was 1990. Hostels were much cheaper. Everything was cheaper. I had a tent. I camped a lot. I had a sleeping bag and slept in a lot of random places, and yeah, managed to just barely make that stretch and get back with nothing, and almost literally nothing, because my backpack got stolen in Paris. Some of you will have seen that video. Awesome. I guess these are redwoods, maybe they're sequoias or something, but yeah, those are definitely redwoods. I didn't realize that there were redwoods on the campus here. But it is a really nice campus. I didn't go to the university here. I graduated from Humboldt State University, which is up in the extreme northern part of California, which also has redwoods on it. So I saved up the money and then made it happen, and flew to London. I'm definitely curious to watch this video myself on my computer, see how the quality is looking, so let me know. Oh, I forgot to mention, got a little haircut here. I did it myself, actually, with hair trimmers. And tomorrow, then I'm out of here on another adventure. I've actually been in California for a week now, visiting my mom and getting ready for this next trip. So I catch a flight tomorrow, and things are gonna get pretty awesome. Let's see, head up here and look for the main sort of square, whatever you call it. Yeah, here we go. Oh, some people doing like Tai Chi, it looks like. And so I actually bought my ticket, my flight ticket for that first trip in that building right there, because the travel STA office was there. And I remember I paid about $600 round trip from San Francisco to London. Pretty good deal. And then up here you get to Telegraph Avenue, which is kind of like hippie central. Berkeley here was like the, you know, epicenter of the hippie protests and stuff back in the 60s, otherwise known as Berkeley. Okay, I'm going to finish this video here and start